Revolutionary greetings, comrades. We're here to respond to the questions that you posted. Let's get straight to the questions. Comrade Jupi Ngube is asking how many members does the Zimbabwe Communist Party have? Comrade Jupi Ngube, we are doing auditing of our membership as we prepare for the second Congress in August 2024. We should be able to respond end of February once our auditing is done. By end of February 2024, we'll be able to respond to you in terms of how many members does the Zimbabwe Communist Party have. And Comrade Na Lisa is asking how the meeting in Kwekwe went. We were not allowed to have a meeting despite the fact that we had notified the police 3 weeks before the event. They kept on speaking to us as we indicated in previous videos, but the meeting did not happen at the Redcliffe. We wanted to have a meeting at Redcliffe Hall. We paid for the venue, but it did not happen. So we will continue to see what we can do to have a meeting in Midlands. But we did meet with the leadership of ZCP Midlands, and the comrades are doing well. They are recruiting new members into the party. What we need to do in Midlands is to intensify political education. We did meet with some new members of the party in Redcliffe. I might say that there is need to do proper political education. Some comrades do like the Zimbabwe Communist Party, but they need to be assisted in terms of understanding our ideology as a party. Comrade Cassius Mpofu writes, why was Mnangagwa deported to Zambia after his release from prison in the 1970s? I will only be speculating. I am not very sure. There are a number of versions that have been said. Some are saying his parents were born in Zambia. I have no evidence to support that. So this is why I'm saying a speculation. Some are saying because the liberation movements were housed in Zambia, was then deported there so that he will not continue to cause chaos inside then Rhodesia. So these are some of the versions. So I do not really know what was the issue. Comrade Brighton Dubem Tembo says, why Zimbabwe government is not fair to us as citizens? Why? The Zimbabwean government, as we have already said, it's a puppet of the deep state, so it is only loyal to those that keep it in power. We have argued in previous videos that Zimbabwe is not a failed state because the class that it represents continues to enjoy in Zimbabwe, but as the majority, the working class and poor victims of the looting class in Zimbabwe. Comrade Mpilo Moyo writes, will we ever do away with the toxic politics of our country and have the desire of being a nation? We are a nation, Comrade Mpilo Moyo. Every country, in terms of politics, we can start globally. Politics is the struggle for power. So the contestation for power makes it toxic. You can look on how they are dealing with former President Donald Trump in the United States. You can study all countries. Politics by its nature is toxic because it's a struggle for power. So you would expect that such do happen. So you start even here in South Africa. Elections are coming up in 2024. I'm sure you understand what is happening. So it is not only in Zimbabwe. In some countries, military end up taking power. So it's a struggle for power. That is politics for you. Comrade Ignatius Gorwondo says, what was the motive behind that real or fake adoption? He's speaking about Comrade MP Ngazi Yore, who was said to have been adopted. I saw the photo of the guy who was brandishing a gun, and as communists, we are concerned that someone in our society can be carrying guns. If the MP has a case to answer, he has to be arrested and appear in court. But we do not have the details of what is happening. We're trying to establish from some comrades on why the adoption we are not getting at the moment any answer. I saw the CCCC MP for, I think in the Midlands, who's the organizer of CCC, was narrating how the MP was adopted, and also another, I think as a councillor or another MP in Harare. So we do not have details why this is happening. And then Comrade Paris in Ndlovu says, when are we engaging the Zimbabwe government on diaspora vote for Zimbabwean community in South Africa? Remember that in 2018, or firstly in 2016, we signed a commitment, a pledge, committing ourselves as civil society and political parties that indeed we want a diaspora vote. So it was a diaspora vote campaign. Then in 2018, the High Court in Harare was approached. The verdict or the judgment was that the Constitution it does not allow for a diaspora vote. What is required is for Parliament to amend the Constitution. So parties that are represented in Parliament have a duty to amend the Constitution to give way to the diaspora vote. But like we always say, that the political parties that are represented in Parliament, they will only talk about the diaspora vote in 2028 in the election year. But in between the elections, they seem to forget that there is something called diaspora vote. So that is the challenge that we are having. Is not a dialogue between us in the diaspora and the government of Zimbabwe. We should be lobbying Parliament to amend the Constitution so that those that are in the diaspora will be able to exercise their right. We'll continue in the next video with in responding to some of your questions. I see there are quite a number of questions that needs us to respond to. Otherwise, keep your questions coming. We will continue responding to the questions. Please like this video, circulate, subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you're on TikTok, please do follow us. Otherwise, Amandla Comrades.